Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Wilder Smeg for Smeghammer, and with me today, I do not have Jackhammer. Instead, we have Ickle Joe. So say hello, Ickle Joe.
Hello, Ickle Joe.
There we go. That's highly frustrating. All right. Typical Joe. Yes, giggly, giggly, giggly. All right. So basically, yes, she's on board. She's a managing director, I guess.
Managing director.
There we go. That would be the one.
And
so
videographer.
I shouldn't really take the Mickey there because she's in charge, really. I'm just the one talking, with her listening and smiling at me, and there's no communication here. This is going to be the world's worst podcast ever.
You do all the facial expressions like you do on, yeah.
That's because what I'm doing is chatting. I'm simply having a chat to you whilst you just stare at me disturbingly. Yep. This is going to go so...
Sorry, interweb.
So well. So today we are talking about Sony's pre-Tokyo Game Show conference that happened today in Japanese. So that was fun.
Which I know nothing about.
Which
He's
you know
not let me see it.
Well, otherwise, there wouldn't be a very good conversation, would it? Now you'd be like, yeah, there was that thing, wasn't there? I'd be like, yes, what thing was that? That thing with the things?
So he's going to tell me all about it.
Yes, so one of the main things, let me just get comfortable here a second. Comfortable. Yes, let's start from the beginning, shall we?
A very good place to start.
Generally a very good place to start. So it's happening a week before the actual...
So is this what we're going to see? Like what they're going to tell us? They're telling us now what they're going to tell us then?
Right. Well...
What's a pre-show thing? It's like, well, in next week we're going to show you these things.
Yeah, it's all sorts of announcements and stuff like that, stuff that will be shown at Tokyo Game Show.
So previews of what we're going to see then?
Yes, but normally this is held like a day before, not the week before.
Oh, okay.
But also, fun surprise, we're going to Tokyo Game Show. I was going to kind of leave that to the end, but there we go.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
now been said right at the beginning.
We're going to Tokyo Game Show!
So we're heading to Tokyo Game Show. We're going to see a lot of the stuff which will be talked about through this podcast. So that's going to be nice. Going to have lots of fun reporting about that. Lots of videos, hopefully. Lots of videos, yes?
I'm the official videographer.
And yes, there we go. So hopefully you see me looking all sorts of fun, looking at different things. But still, anyway, back to the main topic, Tokyo Game Show, and how it's the pre-thing. So it's a whole week before, which is a bit strange. I don't know why they've done that. But there we go.
That means we've got a whole week to get excited.
A whole week to get excited and ignore and forget, everything that's been said for us to go there and go, oh yeah, they said this thing, there it is, look.
Cool.
Right, cool. So one of the first things they kind of showed off was a new slimline Vita. So we, no longer is it chunky black beastie, but also it's now a 20% slimmer, colourful beastie.
I quite like the Vita. It's quite a jolly little thing.
It's a fun little machine, but
we owned one for a week.
yes, but there we go. I still think it's a good little machine, but there we go. Yeah, so it's going to come in black, which it already does. White, which it already doesn't. Then
is this the one where they had all the creepy little children holding up
they
the...
weren't children, they were models, I guess, or actors.
Teens.
Tweens, perhaps?
Tweens. Some of them were looking quite little, but
Well,
they
they
each
were
had
Asian,
the right
that's why.
colours on. They were wearing the colours that matched the Vita that they were holding, and then at one point they were all told to point at the Vita at the same time, and it just looked a bit ridiculous.
Yes. We're talking about the things, not the strange little folk holding the Vitas.
You know me, I'll be amused by those things rather
It's like
than
the only
content.
thing you've seen, so you're like,
I know
talk about
stuff.
the thing I've seen. I know something. There were people and they were holding things and they were colourful.
Oh, and the pink one, the front, or was it the red one? No, it was the pink one.
there's no red
The
one.
front is black, not white.
Yes, that's kind of what I was going to get onto now. So it's black and white. And all of them essentially are black and white, but the backs are different colours. So you got the black, which has a black back, the white with the white back. But then it goes on to a lime green, which I think looks more yellow.
Look very yellow.
With a white front. A light blue with a white front. A pink, which kind of, in the right light, looks kind of reddish. But yeah, there you go, it's pink still. With a black front and a, weirdly, considering the colours they've chosen, a khaki colour. Like basically brown.
Poo brown.
Poo brown. Such a lovely, lovely brown.
Okay, sorry, chocolate brown. Actually, no, it wasn't dark enough to be chocolate brown.
No, it was khaki, wasn't it?
It was khaki.
It was brown and
Which
black.
always sounds like car keys. Like the keys you have to get in your car.
And that will come out in October. In fact, it'll come out a whole day after we come back from Tokyo.
So we
that's
don't get to
brilliant.
go and have a look at it and be overexcited.
So we
in
can
the
go to
shops.
Tokyo Game Show and play them. Go, oh, that's nice. That
Oh, I
is."
forgot we'd be able to play it.
This is what I'm saying. We're going to Tokyo Game Show. We can play these things. They're going to be there. They're going to go, ooh, yellow, not lime green.
Ooh, khaki brown.
Khaki, chocolate. That's essentially
Ooh.
what it is, chocolate and black. And yeah, the whole day after we come back from Tokyo, they will be available. That kind of sucks because it'd be awesome
Are
to
they
come
only
back with one.
available in? Is that only a Japan
They
release
haven't
then?
mentioned anything so far coming to the UK or America or anything like that.
It's unlikely to be a worldwide release, isn't it?
Well, generally with light models, there's always a release elsewhere. Just they've announced it first there. That's all.
Okay.
Expect some news. I would thought.
But it's not going to be released here at the same
post-Tokyo Game
time,
Show?
likely.
No, generally America. No,
Japan.
Japan generally gets them first. Although they're getting things a bit later with the PS4, which we'll get to later. But yeah, they've always released the slimline models, like the PSP, for example, always came out over here. But Japan tends to have more cool colours, so we may not see all those colours, especially not well, we may even see the khaki and black one. The most fun and vibrant of all colours, khaki and black.
The kid wearing khaki in the thing didn't look so impressed that he was in
not
brown.
too pleased. Everyone else was smiling and
The
waving.
girl in yellow, if you see any footage, the girl in yellow, well, green according to them, but yellow according
Lime
to
green.
us, lime green,
Mm.
was really scary. When she was told to point at it, she was very, very over
Point at your
enthusiastic.
device. Take aim with your finger upon the device in your hands.
Yeah, and so with those new Vitas, they announced a whole bunch of new games for which probably only one will get released over here. Cause which one was that? I can't remember. It was probably they made Phantasy Star. I think is already out over there. And Phantasy Star Online 2, but apparently there's some issues. So they're like,
So we're making Phantasy Star Nova, which means it's offline if you want it to be. So you don't have to play it online with your friends. You can play it offline.
So now, instead of advertising that you can play things online, they're now advertising you can play things
Look,
offline.
you can take it
That's
offline if you
the
want.
new USP. You can play it offline.
we can make a whole second game out of this. Phantasy Star offline. Yeah, we can sell that. So I mean, I doubt we'll see that because I didn't even see Phantasy Star Online come out over here. So obviously it's not such a big
I've never heard of it, but that doesn't say much.
Yeah, exactly. It's not such a big series over here anymore. It was a good game in its time. Back on the Dreamcast was Phantasy Star Online. It was one of my first online games, except for Choo Choo Rockets.
What kind of game is Phantasy Star? Is it a fighting game?
It's a sci-fi RPG. Sci-fi RPG. It's a role-playing game.
Okay. But it's
Which
fighty
goes
fighty
online, obviously.
mainly.
It's fighty with guns and swords and generally the laser guns and laser swords.
Okay, not really my style.
Not really, no. There's a whole bunch of others which I can't remember the name of because they were all mostly Japanese. But we'll probably see some of them. I think Terraria was also announced, but I think we've already seen that. But I think I was more confused by it because of the fact it was in Japanese. I was like, that looks like Terraria, but in Japanese. So I kind of really suffered with that one. I was like, what's going on? I don't know. So that was like the games. They were like, look,
But
games.
None of them were particularly exciting, and
They're all relating to
they're
the
unlikely to be over here.
They did look exciting. Most of them were very similar styles in the sense of
But
let's
those,
all combine together to fight things and destroy the big monsters.
but those are the ones specifically for the Japanese market.
Mostly, yes.
So
so
the
I said
Japan
some will-
Asia market, which is what we figured out the JA meant.
Yes. Sony Computer Entertainment Japan and Asia. We got there, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
worked out the A was Asia.
Yes, we figured that one out. All right, so what else did we get? Oh, yes. Vita related, but this is interesting. PlayStation Vita TV.
So you can watch TV on your Vita?
No.
Oh.
This is actually slightly better. Basically, it's the way I can compare it. It's like an Ouya, the silly little Android device that connects to your TV, so you can play Android games on the TV.
Yes, I do remember you telling me about that.
But so you can play Vita games on the TV.
Oh, that's so you still use the handheld device as your
No.
controller? No?
No, you use the DualShock 3 from the PlayStation.
So the Vita is the
It's a
console.
Basically, it's this tiny white little box, kind of like the Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
You whack it into the back of your TV. You put in your memory card. You put in your games, and you play them up on the TV instead. 'Cause it's
So
a
do you
HD
need the
machine.
Vita to be in the room at the same
No,
time?
you don't need a Vita.
So that is the computer console, and then you have your PS3 or PS4 controller controlling it.
They showed off basically the system itself. I think when they converted, it was about 63 quid for the machine by itself.
So you could have that instead of having a Vita and just play Vita games on
Yeah.
the screen,
Yeah.
on the telly.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I
I
kind of
quite
like
like
it.
that.
It's basically like an Android, but better. Not an Android, an Ouya, but better.
But would the games look really, really crap
no,
on the
'cause
telly?
it's an HD machine.
So they wouldn't look
It's
pixely or
not full
anything.
HD. It's.
But
not-
they would look alright.
It'd be alright, you know. It wouldn't be excellent, but it'd be alright.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is the Vita isn't touchscreen, is it?
Yes, it is. This is the problem. You see.
So that's going to be a bit
This is the
difficult.
limitations. There are certain games which require, like there's one called Tearaway from the guys who did Little Big Planet,
I like Little Big Planet.
and you need the touch and back screens.
Right.
Touch and back, front and back touch screens.
Touch
Good.
and back.
Touch and back.
And put the freshness back.
It's not quite shake and back, but there we go. Sponsor. So games like that won't work on it. See,
Yeah.
that's where perhaps if you could link up your Vita
I was
to it,
just
that would be useful.
Thinking it sort of, I don't really play the Vita, but I play the DS a lot. And
You like DS.
like with the Layton games, it's all touchscreen. And so you couldn't play that for anything that didn't have a touchscreen. Like if they suddenly said you can play this on the telly, it just wouldn't work.
This thing with the Vita, you don't need to use things like the touchscreen stuff or the motion sensing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of games where you can just use the thumbsticks, which would be sensible.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if Uncharted would work, because I like Uncharted.
That's the like investigaty one, isn't it?
Investigatey one,
The one that's a bit like Lara Croft, but not.
but yeah, it's really not.
But
But with the puzzles and
yeah,
the
you go
exploring, and
exploring,
finding
yeah.
the older things,
Yeah, that's Lara Croft.
slash Indiana Jones type style.
Lara
thing.
Croft, but not.
Yeah, with Nathan Drake.
Yes.
Yes, that
Not Nathan
that
Fillion,
one,
because
that
he's a
one.
different one.
Which one?
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, because he's an
Because
actor.
he's a real person.
He's a real person.
But he's still called Nathan.
He is, yes.
And he's still like.
But
like
one's not real, and it doesn't actually isn't related to Sir Francis Drake.
oh, yeah, I remember that game.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got that right. But yeah, so one thing that's, because I was like, that's a cool little interesting device, especially for the price. It probably still come out over here for like 100 quid if it does come out. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's, again, no information for the UK or America or anything like that. It's likely to be 100 quid. I wouldn't be
But
surprised.
this show that we just saw was very much, well, you just saw most of. It's for the Japanese market. They're not
Oh,
not
it's
expecting
it's
international
completely aimed at
people
the
to be
Japanese
watching,
market.
really, even to be interested. That apart from the real nutters.
What are you saying? Excuse me. Well, yeah, but that's why they had English translations on the video.
Oh, I know.
Which is
I'm not.
quite nice.
Yeah.
For us freaks.
But they're not talking to our markets. They're only talking to their own market.
Exactly. But it's interesting they've announced a new thing and haven't mentioned any international stuff. But at the same
Yeah.
time, America went,
PS4 for Europe and America and stuff, but not Japan. We're not telling you anything about that yet. Shh, quiet now. Don't mention Japan.
so, they're kind of going,
Ha ha ha! Revenge! Now we have something that you want, but we're not telling you anything about it.
I was
Find out
going to
for
say,
yourself.
do you really reckon they're that petty? But yes, they probably are.
Well, but considering it's all the same company, we actually had one of the Sony heads from America go announce the PlayStation TV in Japanese, which is kind of cool. I didn't realize he could speak Japanese, or if he did, it was certainly scripted. Because he was like, I don't, how do I say? Just say these words. What do they actually mean? Oh, they actually mean something, not
What the
nothing
thing
rude.
you saw today had
Yeah,
an American guy speaking
Yeah,
Japanese.
yeah.
That's very cool that
Like
he
one
did
of the
that.
heads of like Sony Computer Entertainment America.
That is very cool that they did that.
But at the
Did he
same
have a
time-
good accent, as far as you're concerned?
No, it was very high pitched and squeaky, in all honesty. But
Oh, okay.
Hello! But
Not
I'm good in
Biru.
Japanese. Konnichiwa!
yeah.
Not like your Japanese, which is all deep and rich.
Well, no, but it's pathetic. So.
Ice cream.
Lovely. Yeah, so one thing I considered with that, of course, because, Vita games can be good fun, especially as it's becoming more of like an indie machine, because there's not many big games on it. People are going on and buying a whole bunch of little games.
Yeah.
And if I can do that, because it will have the store on it and everything else, if I can do that through the TV, essentially I could capture footage for my YouTube channel.
Well, of Vita,
Vita
games.
games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's another thing you can challenge Wildo of Smeg to do.
I'm Wildo Smeg.
That's what I meant. I wasn't talking to you. I
You meant
was
Smeghammer, didn't you? You
No.
mean the channel?
I was talking to the internet about you. I was saying
Oh.
they
But you
can
were looking
challenge.
at me, not at the internet.
Well, that's because I'm looking at you because you're in front of me. They're not in front of me. They're in the ether.
Well, look
They're
at the
out-
computer when you're talking to the internet.
Okay,
Lee. So
sorry.
they're over there.
Hello, computer.
There we go. Well,
Sorry,
internet.
hello, internet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the internet. There you go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe
Jeez.
I'm actually looking at the computer. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, now you can challenge Wilder or Smeg and Jackhammer, i.e. Smeghammer, to do Vita games, and they can capture their ridiculous noise while they play and broadcast it to you.
Was that so hard?
That's exactly what I said 2 minutes ago.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
Okay, they understood.
But there we go. Yeah, that was something. But I say that when it comes to announcements and stuff, they actually finally announced the Japanese launch for the PS4, and it's not happening this year. It's happening in 2014.
Whereas we're getting it in November,
November 29th over here, and November 15th in America.
but they're not getting it till next. That's weird
I know. But essentially, Sony have said that.
because Sony's Japanese, so to release
well
it.
done, you figured that one out.
No, I just meant that. So they're releasing it in foreign markets before they're releasing it in their home market,
Which is
a bit odd.
unusual, admittedly. But the way they're seeing it, they're fighting Microsoft for, home space for the new consoles.
So they want to match Microsoft.
And Microsoft are shit when it comes to the Japanese market. All the Japanese go, what's this? It's American. We don't want that. No, take it away. Take it
Oh,
away.
look, they've got Sony
Sure.
and Nintendo. Why would they want anything else?
For something different.
Okay.
I mean, we have Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft, and we don't complain. She said whilst yawning. That was very well put.
You weren't supposed to tell them that I was yawning. I moved the microphone.
No, just these strange silences. I put a comment to you, and you're like,
to the microphone away, so you wouldn't be able to hear. It's past 9 o'clock. It's my bedtime, quite frankly.
yeah. But yeah, so February 22nd is when it's coming.
February 22nd.
February
so a whole
22nd.
3 months
it's,
after.
It's a while after.
That's weird.
But what they're doing is an apology for the late release, because I gotta say, the Japanese press conferences are certainly more formal
Yeah.
than like the American ones. Like,
I've
Please
seen-
do have a look at this. Please, just do it. Do pay
What was
attention
the
to
one he
this game.
said? Please.
please do enjoy.
Oh no! Please look forward.
Please look forward to
Please
this.
look forward to this. I thought it was so sweet. Rather than we've seen lots of Apple keynotes, and they're always just like, "This is really cool. You want it, don't you?" Whereas Japanese were so much, "Please enjoy this.
Please take a look.
Please look forward to it."
Check it out. Why don't you? Please. Crap. What was I saying?
I have no idea.
Oh yes, as an apology for being late to market in Japan, because we still don't know when the Xboxes come out over there. But they're providing a special limited run with additional download of Knack bundled in.
I like Nat.
Yes, I quite
He
want.
looks really cute. That's the little guy who becomes big guy with like addition of like
Bits and
nuts and
bobs.
bolts and stuff.
Well, it's not nuts and bolts, but it's
Well, bits of
artifacts.
Stuff.
Stuff. Yeah, we'll call it stuff. Although that, if any Americans are listening, not marshmallows, or the jar of marshmallow. Oh no, it's fluff, isn't it?
Fluff.
Oh, now I look like an idiot.
Yeah, you really do.
Oh well, no problem. I always look like an idiot anyway. I can deal with it. So yeah, your Knack comes bundled inside, which not bundled inside, digital copy bundled.
Is
inside.
Knack a release game in Britain?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
we'll be getting that day one. Don't you worry.
'Cause
I
really
want
like
to
the
play
look
me
of
some
that.
Knack. What's happening?
The dog just did a really cute stretch.
I don't care.
I tried not to make a noise. I tried just to make a face, but then Mike asked me what I was doing.
You looked at something and gave me a face. I'm
I'm
gonna look at something.
She like pushed her paws down towards her tummy and went. It was really cute.
So yes, Knack comes with the essentially day one version, but it's not called day one version. It's called a limited pack. or
So they'll
something.
get it basically for free with their consoles
Yeah.
as an apology.
Yeah. So when Microsoft come out like 80 quid more, they go, we've got a game, but you have a game too. Damn. Now we have to do two games.
And that's why competition is good, because it makes better for the consumer.
It makes better for the consumer.
It makes it. It's past my bedtime. It makes it better for the consumer. Oh, now the dog's on her back with her paws out.
Ignore the dog.
Sorry.
No one cares for dog. Yeah.
I cares for dog.
No one listening cares for the dog anyway. At least I don't think they do.
I bet they do. Do you want to see
Comments
pictures?
below if you want.
Yeah. I bet you want to see pictures of the dog. I mean,
That's-
basically, Toby Turner has built his entire fortune on Griff and the dog. So I reckon we can do the same on Keeper.
No.
Comments below if you want to see the dog.
I was just going to say comments below if you care or not.
You care. Comments below.
One game which is kind of wanted to see a while back because they announced it initially when the PS4 was first announced. It was called Deep Down, and was almost like this. It was like a working project title, the name type thing at the time. It was like a fantasy game with dragons and guys with shields and suits of armor and
Like
swords and
dragons.
bows and arrows and stuff. And considering it was coming from Capcom, the guys who just did Dragon's Dogma were like, "What? It's a sequel! Dragon's Dogma sequel." It's not a sequel. Basically, wait, get a fly. Shoo away from my tea, you little beggar, you. Oh, my tea, get off my tea.
Ignore the fly. Nobody's interested in the fly.
There
Apart
is-
from the dog.
Fly, where's this fly? Show
Fly
me
landed on the
fly.
dog's head.
Yeah, basically, take Assassin's Creed, but instead of having like Ezio and something like that, yes,
Nom
not
nom nom
fangirling
nom nom
about
nom.
Ezio at all. Essentially, you're taken back to, was it the date? 1494. So kind of olden times, and not entirely sure how it happens because they show off in the trailer. The kind of guy goes up to this statue almost. It's like a little weird dolphin thing, touches it, and next thing you know, he's taken back in time to where dragons exist in caves and stuff.
I like dragons.
In caves and stuff.
I like dragons in caves and stuff.
They're not nice dragons. They want to kill you,
Still beautiful.
but they're deep down in the caves.
Deep
Deep.
Deep
in the caves. So that kind of got announced properly instead of like a working title. And
Sorry, is this a Vita game or is this for the PS4?
PS4 game.
Right, sorry.
We went to the PS4. We talked about that now. Deep Down got announced when the PS4 was announced. We heard nothing through Gamescom and E3 and everything else. And now, before Tokyo Game Show, they're like, "Here's Deep Down, woo!"
Dragons!
And that will be at Tokyo Game Show, so we'll get to have a little crack on that.
Dragons!
Dragons. But another game that I think got shown off for the first time. It has been announced, and it's Evil Within. Now, I want to show you the trailer to this, but we'll do it later. I'll show you the trailer later.
Really don't want to see the trailer. I am the biggest fanny that exists. I am not good with horror or suspense or thrillers to that extent. I'm not good. I am a big, scary fanny. The worst experience of the last year was when Mike made me play Slender. Oh my good
You actually cried.
God.
You actually did cry.
I cried and I threw the headphones across the room because they'd scared me with their sounds.
So yes, so they properly showed off. What's it called again? Deep Down. Deep Down.
You said
no,
Evil
not
Within.
Deep Down. Oh my goodness. What's it called? Evil Within. There we go.
See, he's remembering how guilty he found for making me cry by making me play Slender.
Oh, we'll make you cry again. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see this trailer. You're gonna cry. I don't have me look at it. I'm gonna so make you. Oh, it's not gonna be. I don't know. There might be a Tokyo Game Show if it is.
Oh no, because then I'll have to cry in front of lots of other
I'll
people.
have to get you to play
And
it.
the Japanese will feel really guilty for making me cry.
So sorry. Here's a free copy of Knack.
Okay, I'll cry for that.
But it only works on Japanese PS4s, which you do still have to buy.
Well, then we'll have to buy a Japanese PS4.
Won't be out for a while.
Hmm. Oh yeah, we just talked about that.
So it's I was speaking to Scott the other day because he's quite excited because he likes his horror games and stuff.
I don't.
Yes or no? Because he spoke to the Bethesda guys. I was like, "Hi, so anything on Evil Within?" They're like, "No, I'm not gonna see anything for a bit yet." And then a week later, here's a new trailer. Yeah, first in-game footage.
Bethesda, that's a really cool word.
The times I've spoken to you about Bethesda,
Yeah, and I probably said that's a really cool word.
not once.
I think the dog
going
just
on?
swallowed a fly. And one flew her, and she just bit it in the air and then just went.
She does look a little bemused right now. Anyway, yes.
Doesn't she have to eat a spider now?
No.
Then a horse.
It's a story.
Sorry.
It's just a story.
Okay.
So Bethesda have Stop it!
She just looks so confused.
Keep it. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Just that'll do.
You definitely want to meet this dog, by the way.
No.
Just put comments down.
No comments now. I decided no comments. So, yes. So they showed up like a teaser trailer and it was like, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Real life stuff. You know, it's not in-game content. It was like a guy playing with a record.
Oh, I can't think of the word now.
It's too late at night.
Not real life. You have
Live action.
Live
Live
action.
action.
Woo!
I got it. It came out my brain eventually.
Huzzah, hurrah.
Oh, this brain does not work at
bedtime.
all. So yeah, they always showed off a live action trailer, which kind of like, what's going on here? It's kind of weird. But now they showed off something that's like, what's going on here? It's still kind of weird, but at the same time, I understand it a bit more.
And this live action thing is the thing you're going to show me?
No, I'm going to show you the in-game stuff,
Oh.
so you can actually see what it looks like. Live action one probably freak you out, but not as much I would have thought.
Oh, we're choosing the one that's going to freak me out the most,
Of
are
course,
we?
that's the best way to make it work.
Things we do, eh?
Yeah. So if you want to hear her reaction to watching the trailer, listen to after the podcast. You'll
It'll probably be crying,
be amusing as hell.
screaming,
Um,
shouting at Mike for making me watch it.
But the weird thing is with the trailer, because obviously it's Japan and they tend to have different names for different things.
Japanese horror terrifies me.
So like Resident Evil here is BioShock over there, but they made the name at first. They were Capcom, you know. They are Japanese. They make the game. They're like
Like
it's called
Resident Evil.
Biohazard. Why are you not calling it Biohazard? God dang it! What Resident Evil? Pff, we have plans to extend this beyond the house.
Wasn't there some kind of? It was
Yeah,
like
it
a
was
legal
licensing
thing. They
issue,
weren't allowed to use the
I'm
word
just making a
biohazard.
big stupid fuss out of it, basically.
I don't mind Resident Evil. That's one of those few games that I can cope with.
It's probably gonna be
'cause I'm
freakier
just-
than that.
All excited about finding the herbs.
Mix those herbs. Yeah. So this one's called Psycho Break. Psycho Break. Yeah, Psycho Break. Instead of, oh my God, Evil Within. There we go. My brain does not want to work today. at all.
Psycho
Psycho Break.
break,
Yeah.
i.e., a psycho who has broken.
I don't know.
My sound.
Could be a break from a psycho. It could be a nice easy game.
Oh
Actually.
my God! It could be like a breakout from a psychiatric. Oh my God.
Yes. So yes, Joe will be listening to that trailer. Well, watching that trailer. You can listen to it. Watch that trailer.
You
It's
you
gonna
can
be-
basically listen to him making me cry.
It's gonna be funny. One thing, mixing up the two themes now, so the Vita and the PS4. One thing the Vita can do with the PS4, which is quite cool, that you can actually wirelessly play your PS4 games on the Vita, which is nice.
Oh, so do you need the PS4 to be on, kind of thing?
Yeah, you still need the PS4 to be on.
But you
'cause
can-
that's doing all the streaming to the Vita.
So it's like an
screen,
extra
basically.
telly screen kind of
It's
concept.
It's like the Wii U idea where you can turn off the TV and play it on the controller.
Yeah.
That kind of concept. But after the whole conference was over, they showed off this weird what the PS4 and Vita and all the Sony devices in the world can do for you if you live in Tokyo and go to university. And they showed us this
Okay.
big silly trailer thing. But at one point, they showed a girl trying to play Knack. She sucked. Then she was like, "Oh, I need to go do this thing in this cafe and have some lunch and play some Knack on the PS Vita." But she did it in the cafe. She just literally whacked on the Vita. She's like, "Oh, well, let's connect to my PS4. Let's play some Knack. Oh, look, I've done it now."
So the PS4 was on at home.
Well, presumably she turned it off. But with these things, they tend to be like not always on as such.
So maybe it sent a level to her PS Vita and she was able to play it.
No. She would have remotely controlled her PS4 to turn on.
Oh. And that would have been through the internet.
Well, it
'Cause
wouldn't.
she wouldn't have been in line of sight, would she?
No, not at all. Also, line of sight. When was the last time you used anything that was line of sight?
Oh, I'm sweet old-fashioned thing. I know the last thing I used. My last thing that I used was just line of sight. Is my Harry Potter one that I used to switch the telly on. That's line
TV
of
most
sight.
don't count as this communication.
Still line of sight.
Rubbish.
Well, it is because when we've got the telly, the sound bar in front of the telly, we
TV
can't switch
remote,
the
what was the last thing it used as line of sight?
My eyes.
Oh, for the love of God. Technology-wise.
I don't know.
There we go.
You said the telly remote. The DVD remote.
Right, anyway. She uses her Vita wirelessly through the internet. Presumably the university has some good wireless. And
When I meant line of sight, I kind of meant Bluetooth, by the way.
that's not even line of sight. That's a
I know,
it's a
but I
wireless
meant
technology.
it as in you need
That's-
to be in a certain meters away
certain
from
meters.
a certain distance. I
certain
mean, it's a proximity. That's the word I'm after. It was something that wasn't proximity
going.
dependent.
Right, okay.
So,
safe.
okay,
Be
rewind
safe.
the last 2 minutes, right? So, was she using the internet rather than a proximity dependent method of communication?
No, she was using an IR sensor to do line of sight with it. Well, presumably she was using Wi-Fi. They didn't show it. They were kind of like, look,
I am now remotely connecting to my PS4
If
to
she
play
was in a
Knack.
cafe, it's very, very likely to be the
it's
internet.
unlikely to be anything but
Yeah,
the Wi-Fi, because that would be some damn strong Bluetooth connection going on right there.
because infrared would be a bit ridiculous.
So with all the things that were shown off now, with all
Ooh,
the things,
hello.
hi, with all the things that were shown off, they pretty much all of them were stated, and this will also be at TGS, Tokyo Game Show 2013,
Which we're going to, by the way.
which we're going to, which is what I'm building up to. Stop spoiling my fun with that.
I'm sorry.
Ah,
But this is for Smeg Hammer, right?
Yes.
You've already put something on Smeg Hammer saying we're going to
but I still
Tokyo
want to build
Game
up
Show.
the tension and the excitement.
Okay, but it's not me stealing your thunder. You've already stolen your own thunder.
Not like anybody looked at it.
Well, why did you make it? It's better
Just to make people look at it. They haven't.
Oi, you, look at it.
Yeah, look at my picture. Not that one. The one about Tokyo Game Show.
It's cool. It looks like the rising sun.
So yes, we are going to Tokyo Game Show, and we'll be getting handsy-onsy with these things.
And possibly cryy if he makes me play the scary
I
ones.
so want it to be there. If it is, that's going to be funny.
They are going to be really embarrassed if they make me cry. You do know this, don't you?
Sorry, we'll give them like watermelons or something as like a gift. We apologize in advance. Here's
I
a
was in
watermelon.
Costco the other
Stupidly
day, and
expensive.
there was a huge pile of watermelons for like £3. And I was going to take a photo just so when we take it to Japan, we can go, look how rich we are. Look at all our watermelons.
Here's a collection of watermelons. They are tasty and cheap. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the important bits I think that came out of the pre-Tokyo Game Show conference. Oh, apart from the fact they're releasing a 64 gigabyte PS Vita memory card now.
What are they on currently?
32.
Oh, so it's twice as big.
Well, yeah, that's quite cool, except for the fact that 32 gig costs you about 60 quid
For 32
for 32 gigabytes. Because it's their own proprietary format. Nobody
Real
else makes them.
buggers. They had that with my when I had a Sony Ericsson phone, and it was the
Memory
M2,
stick, yeah,
and that was proprietary, and that was stupid expensive.
that's because it's Sony.
Bastards.
They like to do that a lot. So that's still putting people off because it costs a bloody fortune for these things. Except for when they do like the little bundle packs at the moment, so you can get a 8 gigabyte memory card and 10 games for the same price
That's
as
cool.
an 8
Do
gig memory card.
Does just a standard Vita off the shelf come with any memory card, or do you
No.
always have to buy one?
That's one thing about actually the slimline ones. They come with 1 gig built in now.
So you could potentially play games and save them without it.
And
Whereas if-
essentially, you could save the game save to it, but not actual any downloads. I would have
Could
thought.
you buy a Vita as in the shops right now? Could you go and buy one without buying a memory card and save a game?
No.
That's shit. And it doesn't come with any memory card.
No.
So every
Unless you get a
time
bundle.
you buy a Vita, you have to buy either a bundle or a memory card.
Yeah.
Ooh, they're little clever buggers, aren't they?
Well, of course they are. That's why they make their monies. Except with the Vita, it doesn't do so well, which is why they were releasing
Possibly
it.
because you have to buy all this extra crap.
Exactly, that's the problem. That's where I think the 3DS and stuff works. Because, one, it comes with a memory
I
card
love
in the
my
first place.
3DS.
But two, you don't need the memory card. It saves to the game.
My 3DS is red.
Well done. It's an XL at that. Rather than the horrible plastic lump that is the original 3DS.
No.
Of course, there is now the 2DS as well, which looks like a slice of bread, which is...
Will we be able to play with
Weird.
that at the Tokyo Game Show?
I'd
I'd
Nintendo
quite like to
aren't
see-
actually going to be there.
That's just weird, if
It
you
is.
ask me.
Welcome to Japan,
say
where
they're
you
not
can't play
always-
Nintendo things.
Did you say they're not normally there?
Generally, the last couple of years they haven't been.
Have they kind of branched out on their own and done their own thing? Have they had some kind of
There
falling
was.
out?
They tend to. Well, I don't know whether they tend to still now, but they did do a thing called Space World. Space World, where Nintendo things go to space, come back, and you can play them. Not quite.
Space World, Space World. No, 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 no.
But yeah, Nintendo aren't going to be there. They're probably going to do their own thing at some point in September, I would imagine.
But there might be some of their stuff to play with.
Oh, there's going to be some games from any third-party companies there who may bring like a Wii U or a 3DS or 2DS if they can get their hands on it. I doubt it. What's going on with that? I doubt it.
I don't mind. I quite like the accent, to be honest.
Anyway, I think that's enough jibber jabber for this week. We're on to 30. Well, not 34 yet, but we're close. We're getting to that mark.
Dog's fault.
Yeah. So we are heading to Tokyo Game Show next week,
Woo 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 woo!
and
Konnichiwa!
we'll bring you a Tokyo Game Show podcast then. So all the stuff we played, all the hands-on, all the cute girls,
And everything we saw that was kawaii!
and that too. So don't forget to hang about for Joe crying with
Yeah,
the
because
trailer.
we're really, really looking forward to
Well,
that.
I am. And so until next time, this is Wilder Smeg signing out, and also Ickle Joe. Say goodbye, Ickle Joe.
Goodbye, Uncle Joe.
Yep, expected that this time at least.
Predictable, at least.
Yes, that's a good thing. So until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye. Ah! Ah! What the flying fuck was that?